I've been building this thing right here for the past about a month now. It's my childhood dream layout, the Tyco layout expander system. This will be the last installment we're going to do on this here because it's done now. I'm Ron with Classic Model Trains. Let's go backwards about a week. Let me share with you what we have done. Well, day one of the layout reconstruction because of my ears. So we pulled up the track right through here, and I've got one coat of paint down around the ballast. Pulled out the other loop so we can make an alignment, get her back on, and then this one over here fixed. The reason this happened is because these are snap switches, and the ones that I put in there were like number 6s, and they've got different radiuses on them. The snap switch is like just the entryest level turnout that they've got, and I thought they were close enough, and they're not. Lessons learned the hardest are the ones that are remembered the most. Let this paint here dry, put another coat on, let it dry, put my line down where the track's gonna go. I've got my 18-inch radius pin set up in there. There's another one sitting right there, so I can pencil in the radius, put the track down, well, you'll see, draw the lines, and then paint the ballast again to make this happen. The new transformer showed up on Monday. The ones with the momentum on them, just the newer ones. So now I'm gonna have more matching, better going on over here. And I gotta bolt them in. Best way to bolt them in is to go right through the bottoms of these things. So I took a T10. This is a Torx, but it's one of those safety security Torxes that has the pin inside there to take out these silly little screws that's got the pin inside of them. And by eyeballing this thing when it was taken apart, I see that I've got kind of a lot of room up in here to put some screws in. So I drilled some holes in these feet right here, and I properly measured them, and I'm using this as a template. It's gonna go in there, then I'm gonna drill holes down through the plywood where these holes are at. Then I come up from underneath with a couple of self-tappers and bolt it in, and that's gonna hold these things right where I want them to be. Couldn't be happier. Well, about 3 hours in so far now, we're doing the ballasting. This is the coat of paint that seals off the tape, and the other one over there. One more coat of brown, 2 coats of gray, dabble of white. Maybe it's gonna be like 1 day to correct this little error that I made. It'll be worth it though, because I'll know that error is gone. Just for fun, I got this wired up into the old throttle here, so I can gently move it back and forth, and that's about what I expected. Sure. We're gonna give it a little taste, a little touch, just a little peck of oil right up in here. Give it some down on this. What's the bottom of it look like? Little on the shaft here, little over here, little here, some over here. Give it a little trace down this. Come under here, give it a little taste. Give it a second or 3. What do we got now? That's the in and the out on it. I like it. I wonder if it's gonna work. Tyco just love to put these in the sets. Did you look at that? Pull it forward. Well. I would have never guessed. Nice. I gotta find the roof for that thing. I put it somewhere and now I can't find it. But I know it's around here. We'll put this guy on here. I don't know if it's going to trip it when a car goes across. Sort of it does. We put this guy in. I had to lube up all the gears in this one. There's some in here and there's also some in here. So this moves forward, lifts it up. It's in a bad location though, because you got to operate it from over there and you can't see it from over here. So this kind of makes me feel like it's just going to hang out some. Our loops are back in. Our ballast is painted. Everything's correct. We're still waiting for the new coal dump to show up. It's a tight little area right through here. I didn't notice that before. Hopefully that works. This is exactly how the layout shows, except for that's in the wrong corner because it wouldn't fit right there. Log dump. Now that I've got all this work done, I can start working on the wiring again tomorrow. It's Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I've been busy all day painting that. I have to change my road around a little bit right here because it's not going to work as well as I'd hoped. Another day of building tomorrow. Friday evening right now. There's been work going on all week long, but it's been slow. And it's like one of those kind of jobs that you do a lot of work, but it doesn't make a lot of difference, like wiring. You can't see it. You need it, but it doesn't show up. I've decided that I've got some of this stuff here. Let me show you this. The $1 club layout has got a bunch of plexiglass like this. They've got hundreds of feet to go around that gigantic layout. And these are used, so with portable layouts, to keep things on the layout and keep little fingers from touching stuff. So I'd always planned on wanting to put it on this one right here. The next 2 days I'm gonna be working on painting. I gotta get this other one painted, this side painted. Then I gotta build something to hold this plexi up with to make it look nice. And I took a 4x4 and I did some creative saw work with it through the table saw. And I turned it into one of these. And then after notching them out and doing a little bit more work to them, they look like this. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna form a rigid corner. It's gonna go on like this. And it's got that gap right down in there for the 1/8" plexiglass to be on it. So I got 4 corners, and then I've got 2 of these. This is just a straight, and they'll be on over here by this part. And then there won't be any plexi across the front of that. And I gotta paint them gray, and then I gotta paint them yellow. I gotta figure out, what I want to make it look right. And then there's some 2x4s outside that look like this. Well, there's 2 of these 1x2s that used to be a 2x6, and I ran them through the table saw, and I put a little notch on it. You can see it right there. So this will fill in the rest of it. I think I'm gonna paint these yellow, and then everything that we just showed inside will be gray. This is the first time that I've ever decided to prime wood before I paint it. And I usually don't like to do that because of the time that it takes, because you gotta wait a whole nother time of dry coating. But the boys that know how to paint, they tell you gotta prime it. I like painting about as much as local Dave likes doing electrical work. I am going to work the next couple days priming, waiting for stuff to dry, and painting, so that way I've got a better final product. And then I will also show you what we've gotten done on the layout in between making coats of paint for stuff. That's my plan, painting for the weekend. Saturday morning now, I've got all these cut up with the first coat of paint on them, letting them dry. For some reason, this stuff thickened up on me, and it was like spreading Grecian hair formula or something on them. They got thick, so I just got back from the hardware store to get some paint thinner, thin it out so the next coat will be just a little bit smoother. I got me some 2x4s to put down under here to hold the power supply, and also to probably hold totes, and then we'll just ratchet strap them on there. These bolts right here, they're sticking up. They're in the way of some of the 2x4, so I went ahead and I notched them. Did one of these here, top and bottom, so that that'll fit over the top of the nuts. And I'm gonna screw them down, and then we'll have one thing marked off being done. Oh, and I gotta solder some drops in. Under here, this is the inside loop. So the bus wires are in, but the loop isn't. You can see that the switches have been wired up. The turnouts, I go back and forth. They're called turnouts switches. These are the accessory power wires right here. Everything's run up inside there. Nice and clean. We got the 3 power packs are in. This is a little extra wire for the turnouts, so I could pull the wires up and to wire up the controls that are over on the other side, or I could pull them through if I need to rewire them at this end. So this is giving me about 18 extra inches of wire. I just don't want it inside the control box. This is some of the clean. Well, it's a nice way to do wiring. Can it be better? Sure. These could be like arrow straight or something like that, like a printed circuit board. And lots of things a guy can do. Folding this thing down. Here's my pylons all painted up to put the plexiglass in for the don't touch this layout. I'm just being held up by paint drying right now. Top of these, all nice and clean for all the turnouts. Top of these, all nice and clean for the controls. For the accessories, not much has changed on this right here. This is still waiting. This is going to be architectural lighting. And then here's our matching transformers right here. Loving it? Yes, loving it. Quick look in here. Try to keep this clean and organized. Oh, no, it doesn't flip over anymore. Ain't that a bugger? That's on crooked. I gotta adjust that. These are bolted down inside here. They're not going anywhere. Things are coming together. I just hate waiting for paint to dry. But I'll keep moving forward till we get to the end. Still knocking out the old drops down here. Ooh, I got too much of that on there. That's way too much. Flux. Since the center loop has got the bus on it, now it's time, and I've pulled it up and repainted, and now it's time to do it all again. Lots of drops. Do the work once though, and then you're done with it. Get that all set up in there. Tight up against the rail. This whole process it's definitely a learned skill set. Last one here, I'll probably have to add another drop over here. I had a drop right in here on the straight track, and then this guy showed up. Oh, looks like I gotta fix that. So I'm gonna put a drop in right here on it, and that'll pick up this, do some soldering on the bottom. Then all the drops are finally done. It's been like a week and a half of soldering drops. God. These are these boards with one coat of paint on them. I don't have the time to let them dry, and I goop it on pretty hard and heavy. So some of it runs back here. So I'm gonna take a nice sharp chisel, and I can, if I had both my hands, because I'm holding the phone up with one, I can just shave this off. So we get paint shavings like this. Because I want this to sit flush against the fascia on the layout. Over here, if there's any big boogers on it, so I'm going to scrape those off too, but this is where the plexiglass is at, so it doesn't bother me quite as much. I'm going to drill a hole evenly spaced on each side, come in 3 inches, up 3/4 of an inch. So I clamp it right here underneath where the plexi is going to be. And then make these holes evenly spaced so they look nice. And I'm using some of these here they're calling them cabinet screws. They got this washer head on them like that. And I'll have to come by and paint those again, tape, touch them up, but that's fine. Always touching up paint to do. I took out my coal dump over here because I was told that I got the wrong track. It's supposed to have tracks that curve. And I went online, and some of the older kits, yes, they did. So I ordered in one, a whole one, a brand, well, new to me. And these pieces of track are completely flat, and they're true steel. So that's a downer. But all I had was this piece right here, and I didn't have these pieces, and I didn't have the right trestles. So it was worth it anyway. I didn't have this, and I didn't have this messy stuff, and I had one of these. So I'm going to rebuild it back in the way it was with my brass track, but I'm going to put in the proper things. And I got instructions that tell me where the things to go. And I guess I'll just bend these by hand. I'll just give them a little twist and hopefully get them figured out. I get a lot of emails every week about people that want to promote their products on my channel. And I don't do it because, for one, I haven't found a product that I think is worth anything to promote on the channel. And then I realize I've got a really important product that I should promote on the channel. Classic Model Trains World. I think the most important one is our members that are out there. They're providing the most amount of extra income that comes into the channel, well, week to week or month to month. I want to thank everybody that does support the channel through our memberships. It's all through YouTube. There's a join button at the bottom of the videos, every one of them. Click in and it'll describe how that works, how it breaks down. People are always asking me, how do I become a member? That's what you got to do. You got to be subscribed first to become a member. That generates lots of extra income, and it helps support the $1 club layout for the storage of the building that it's in right now. Another thing that we do to support the endeavors that I've got right here is my coffee cups, the 33%ers, the 33% coffee cups. Those you have to send an email to me, classicmodeltrains@aol.com, because I need to know your city and state that you live in so I can print those out. And I've also got other cups available on the eBay store. The Mad Chicken Model Railroad the way I want. Plus, I'm making these things called the Rare Series with the Tyco stuff. If you're looking for a specific cup, drop me a line, email me, I could print one up. Check out the cups. They are a little more expensive on the eBay than if you called me up directly, because eBay fees, 38% gross is what they take. Another thing that I got going on is the Amazon Associates program. A lot of people are always asking me, where do you get that? Where do you get this? What do you use? Beneath every video in the description section, click it open. It's got all the links to all the tools that I've used. I get most of my stuff through Amazon and eBay. That's the only two places that I buy stuff. If you go to one of these Amazon links and you end up buying something, they kick back a little small percentage, 2-3%. It doesn't cost you anything extra. These are the ways that you guys can help support the channel. Subscribe, ring the bell, hit the notifications, hit the thumbs up, leave comments. You can become a member. You can purchase stuff through the Amazon Associates links that are in the description section of the videos. You can purchase things through the eBay store or through me directly. I appreciate all the support out there. I'm going to try to see if we can do this full time coming up this year now. We're about halfway through the video right now. It is an excellent time to do classic model trains, classic model of the week. Do you guys know who this is? If you do, type it in the comments down below. If you don't, hang out till the end. I'll let you know who it is. Let's get back into working on this stuff. And after a few hours of work, this is what we got going on with the sideboards here. And the plastic, it's cleaned. It's hard to tell. Yeah. So that makes me comfortable so the things won't take a nosedive off of it. Came out absolutely amazing. Now I've been sitting here farting around with just some Tyco cars. I pulled them out, I threw them on the track, and you can't do that. Them things want the axles oiled at a minimum to roll, because they won't roll where the poo. And then the wheels are really bad because they're plastic. Couplers seem to be fine, but I've been having crashes and crash burns and things that don't work right. And oh my goodness, what? I mean, I know what to do to fix this stuff. And it's been an hour of farting around, trying to get it to do 5 laps consistently. Unbelievable. Let me show you some of the things that I found. This here's our log dump car, and it's got the worst axles in it that a guy could ever ask for. And I tried swapping them out, but the truck's got to be tuned. But when you come into here, this right there rides up on these, and that will cause it to derail. Right there is the worst one. It hit it, and the car is actually tipped now. But you come over here to this one, it's just fine. This is a little bit smaller than the other ones. Plug that into its dumper. These things are they're all so light. Every time I look at them hard, off the rails they come. I ain't kidding. So I got the buttons all fired up right here. We give it a little push. Now don't blink. That's it. It threw the car off the track. And it needs all new trucks. I mean, that thing is just a horrible little individual right there. All right, going into here. So some of these accessories, like these two here, which is going to be this guy, the log unloader, and this guy right here, which is the operating boxcar, they use AC power. And it connects up with some pins that go into this groove, and so these two are AC powered switches. And I'm getting the AC power from where I got my AC power for the turnouts. I tapped into it right here, ran it over here in the same colors, and then I use these multi-tap things right here. You just stab a wire into, and then it grabs onto it. So I've got my AC neutral and my AC hot here, running those. Well, I guess it's these ones, sorry. And then I needed some DC, variable DC power, because if you come off of this thing at the 15 volts that it gives you for DC power, this thing is running to beat the bed, it's slamming in and out, and it's like, oh geez. So I wanted to be able to get some power that I could run the knobs off of. So I tapped into my last block right over here. So whatever transformer I am using to operate the locomotive, I could grab up the other transformer that's not being used currently at the time, and I can get my power, variable DC power, coming into here. So I've got this switched to B. If I close this up here, oh, wait. See how fast he's going? Because we're bringing back a little bit, and we can slow him down so it's not so silly looking. We're gonna bring him back a little more, get the button. And of course, these momentary buttons, they're dirty. So that looks a little more realistic there. We can bring our train around now that we've got him back on the tracks. One of the most unrealistic ways to unload I think I've ever seen. Sure. Bring it back in. Pull the train forward. Uh-huh. Can you believe it? Golly. Is it everything I remembered as a kid? I never had it, so I don't even know. This Mikado was serviced up years ago, probably the first year I was doing this. Hasn't really ran since. Pulled it off the shelf and it ran. Some of the guys couldn't figure out why I'd be rooting through all this stuff looking for a locomotive to run from last week's. Worried about that thing derailing. I should just turn it off. From last week's video, most of these are waiting to get fixed. If I don't know that they don't run, I don't even try to run them because it could just burn them out. And then once I get it fixed, then I sell it for the most part, except for now when I keep all the UP stuff. Tyco things that I've worked on, they worked for a while and then they don't because the brass wheels, they will tarnish and not work unless you got a really heavy locomotive. So that's what this is all about, the display stuff. Most won't work. Those that have been fixed, and then some that are too long to go on 18-inch radiuses. That's what that whole story was about. What else can we find to operate? Oh, the boxcar unloader. That one's kind of silly. See if we can make it around here without nothing bad happening. Huge bonus. So you got to time that thing up with this right here. Get them pins, right in the track. The door has to be opened up manually. Okay, that's terrible. Wow, okay. Going to this guy over here, I had him all working. Before I put this side plate glass on, I must have hooked it a little bit, and I broke him off the arm. It's not that it's broken, it's just it's disconnected. But I wired it up anyway so I could get the controls over there, right there to work. That one. And now it doesn't do anything at all. And of course I nailed it down through these little holes like a guy should so that it's mounted. So, not so much on that. So the log loader's working. This guy here, I do know that they pour out that little fine coal all the way around the layout when it's moving, so I'm not in a big hurry to try this one out. What do we got here for, they call it an operating accessory, and I guess that's more of your imagination playing with it. This here sort of works when things go across it, but not as much as the guy would, yeah. You'd think it would work better. So really, this guy here's this one wins. So what I want to do with this over here is I want to get the Scenics out on it, all the buildings. And I've ordered in 15, 20. I thought I had them all, but I haven't seen them out for like 2 weeks. I'm going to put them on there, doll it up a little bit. Since it don't work very good, I want to make sure that it doesn't look very good either. Oh. Well, sorta. It's got a lot of the same buildings. This one, that one's Howard Johnson's. It don't belong there. Reggie's Hot Rod Shop. That's the freight station that I accidentally ordered that I didn't need. And these are the Center Street buildings right there. They came out in 1981. And I like those. This one here is an original. It's the Railroad Motel. These three here are the Center Street series. These are the houses under construction. It's the Shell gas station. Burns Engineering, Gruesome Casket. That's the lumber yard. That's original. I moved to the sand yard over there. This is not a Tyco product. That one is not. And the reason they're there is because I got to build them. And Pola also sold the AHMs. And this is the Aero-specific 1977 Staple Tower. This is the Aero-specific interlock tower that's seen on the layout. This is a brand new sand tower one because that one's missing some pieces. And then I've also got some new Center Street jobs here and here. And there's another one or two that's available out there. So kits that I got to build. So I'm not really ready to do my Scenics yet. I just threw some trees down because it looks more like a layout down under here when you get down. But I got to put the green down. I got to paint it or put some grass or glue it in or something like that. But I got to make sure I've got the buildings that I want where I want them to be. So this is just still going to be kind of a work in construction right here. I've got the original sets, that Chattanooga one right there. What is this one? That's coming around the mountain. And then this Amtrak one. Well, here's the cars that I've got. I don't know if these are phase ones because they're just blue. And I was running this around the track, the red, white, and blue, and it was doing really good. And then the pinion gear started spinning on the armature and it doesn't have any get up and go anymore. Well, a common problem with the Tyco stuff there, might have to go into putting different chassis underneath of these bodies to get better performance out of them, because I know that they're not going to last long. These are good. The steamers are all pretty good because of the way that they are with the motor and the worm gear on them. You can upgrade those to a can motor. Our classic model of the week, Nancy McKeon from Facts of Life back in the day, the television show. So I guess I'll just let these play me off over here. It's been an interesting month putting this thing all together. More of it will be coming up as time goes by. I'm Ron, Classic Model Trains. Thanks for watching. Go back.